4 rounds gone and 2 to go. Could this be the weekend for Hayden Paddon to claim his place at the top of New Zealand motorsport? Consistency has rewarded the young star with the championship lead. But the rally is the biggest challenge in the season and the competition is ready to pounce. Chris West was the emphatic winner at Whangarei. And don't forget that Richard Mason totally dominated the first 2 rounds of the championship in his B&T Subaru. Add to that the opportunity to shine in front of the top of world rallying. It's Repco Rally New Zealand, the land of the long dust cloud. Round 5 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. Welcome to Repco Rally New Zealand. I'm Clint Brown. Glad you could join us for round 5 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. Well, as you can see, the man that's just come off the stage is Hayden Paddon, the guy who currently leads the championship with just this round and, of course, Nelson to go. Not just a big event for the WRC, it's also a fantastic showdown for our top New Zealand drivers. Of course, that's going to be run on the Friday and the Saturday, and on Saturday is also the Possum-Born Memorial Rally Day. That's when the Kiwi 2 and the Classics get out there and also get some skids. So, as you can see, Hamilton once again has lived up to its reputation as being Motor City. Let's catch up with Roger Davis and Shrek to see how Hayden Paddon, the leader in the championship, wants to hold on to that lead.
Well, thanks, Clint. Well, yes, I do have the championship leader. Hayden, 29 points in your favour, Rally New Zealand.
Yeah, it's a good buffer to have, but it's by no means safe. As we illustrated last year, we lost that lead pretty quickly. So, you know, there's a lot of hard work to do this weekend, and we've got to get a good result, and we've got to push hard, and we also want to have a good result within the PWRC as well. So there's a lot up for stakes this weekend anyway.
Doing the PWRC, what is the priority this weekend?
Definitely the PWRC. Well, the main reason is that's where I want to be in the sport in the future, and to do that you've got to make the most of any opportunity you got and make a good first impression. So if we can show a bit of speed this weekend and start showing signs that we can be there, it could be a bit of a leap forward into the PWRC in the future. And New Zealand Championship is definitely something I want to win, especially after becoming so close last year. But it's always something I can come back and do. But for now, you know, that if we just concentrate on driving 100% as fast as we can go, and good result in one, I'm sure a result and a good result in the other.
Chris, big weekend for the championship here. You're 29 points behind Hayden in second place.
Yeah, it's definitely a big weekend. Obviously, World Championship event, and the whole spectacle of it is, an atmosphere is great. It's awesome to be part of. And for championship-wise, another 2 opportunities to try and reduce the gap between Hayden and myself.
Really, tomorrow you've really got to do that because of 32 points for a victory.
Yeah, it's quite clear. We need to go out there and do the best job we can. Effectively, that is to win certainly one of the 2 days. But we've also got to take into equation. Richard's in there as well, and along with a few other the championship contenders. So it's still a long way to go, but we're certainly focused on what we need to be doing and aware of what's required over the weekend.
Stuart, for the first time in your career anyway, you're running in the PWRC category as well as the New Zealand Rally Championship. How did this come about?
After we applied for the scholarship that was available middle of the year and we missed out, we were made aware by the organiser Rally New Zealand that the Jordanian entrant was unable to make it to Rally NZ, and we were asked if we'd like to fill in for his spot. And the rest is history. Here we are.
The focus for the weekend, though, is it mainly on the National Championship?
Yeah, definitely. I think having never rallied on these control tyres before, it would be quite tough to match the pace of the guys who have done that, who compete in the PWRCs. So the intention is to just keep an eye on our National Championship competitors and see if we can maintain a good pace with them.
Richard, Rally New Zealand time, and it's probably fair to say it's one of your favourite rallies.
Awesome event. We love coming here every year. I know this year it might be a bit of a difference to other years. We're running on a control tyre. Maybe the grip levels won't be as high, but it'll be the same for everyone. Looking forward to it. It's been a bit drier than it has been in the last few months, so I think everybody will be happy for it to be a dry rally, and that's what we want.
Championship-wise, it's probably really gone for you, but the goals on this event, PWRC guys?
I think the first thing is to be first Kiwi. We want to be first Kiwis at the end of 3 days. The New Zealand Championship stuff is what they call mathematical, and that means that you're not going so good. If everything goes well, maybe after a day or so of getting used to the tyres, if we can start challenging the PWRC guys, then, who knows?
Friday morning, Rally New Zealand, we start with Fusion Parongia West. At 25 kilometres long, very challenging stage. It starts off quite tight and twisty, opens out over a tarmac crossroad before we then start heading down the hill. Tight and twisty the whole way, it'll be a real challenge. The other challenge for us will be that we're also starting about the 45th, 46th car on the road. So again, the road's going to be really cut up already, especially if it's wet. Stage 2, Castro-Waitomo, has unfortunately been split into 2 stages. Instead of the mammoth 44-kilometre stage that it would have been, it's been split into a 25-kilometre stage and then an 18-kilometre stage. These stages will still be really important and they'll be very tricky, especially the second 18-kilometre one where most of the stage is clay-based, and if it's wet it'll be very slippery. After service we head back out to Fusion Parongia West. Service time wouldn't have been spent making a tyre call because everyone's running the same control tyre that is part of the World Rally Championship. The Pirelli control tyre is going to be a hard compound tyre and we can't cut it or do anything with it, so everyone runs exactly the same tyre. They're going to be a good tyre if it's dry, but if it's wet or slightly slippery there isn't going to be much grip at all. Hopefully the roads aren't too cut up on our second pass through. After stage 3 we head back to a repeat of Castro-Waitomo, where again that second 18 kilometres, if it's been wet, it cuts up and it can quite often be punctures in that second part of that stage. After our tour back to Mystery Creek, we'll have a short super special stage, which will be a great opportunity to show off in front of the big crowds that'll be there for the WRC cars.
And like Rally Whangarei, the New Zealand competitors will start behind the World Rally teams, but 3 drivers have been given the chance to start alongside the production World Rally Championship. So it's Hayden Paddon who leads the New Zealand drivers away. In fact, he'll be the 28th car on the road. So at least for Shrek, no problems with doing the road sweeping this weekend.
Well, as you can see already, Clint, there's a nice line there. No problems with sweeping. In fact, 11 cars separate Hayden Paddon and Richard Mason, who will be the first non-priority competitor.
And what about the road conditions with all the rain and now a little bit of sunshine?
Well, Clint, it's been very wet in Waikato over the past month or so. So the big question, will the road start to deteriorate as the number of cars go over the stage? Look, there are wet patches in the corners. That might be enough to stop these Pirelli tyres from reaching optimum temperature.
Great shots there of these classic cambered Kiwi corners that we're famous for. The drivers can really throw the car from one corner to another, get a real rhythm going behind the wheel.
Yes, but they've got to be a little bit careful. You can see there's still a lot of gravel offline, but the real track formed where the WRC cars have been going.
His time, 18:32.8. Not happy start. Chris West is next on stage. A great return for Westy to be in the PWRC field to mark his full return to the championship. He and Gary Cowman really pumped up after winning Rally Whangarei, their first international win. But now they're switching from Yokohama to the Pirelli control tyre. Good start there. He's 12 seconds quicker than Hayden Paddon.
Chris, you're gone 12 seconds quicker than Paddon.
Big lesson in there, mate. Yeah, it's. I can't believe how different it is with running such a tyre, different brand tyre. But we certainly didn't have a good run in there. We had a huge amount of push. So I made a slight change at the shakedown yesterday. So plan is to put that back and just press on. But yeah, okay.
Unlike the scholarship winners West and Paddon, Stu Taylor is running in the PWRC for the Orion World Rally team.
Into a 5 left minus. 60.
Well, Stu Taylor getting a little bit offline there. As I said earlier, you get offline on this gravel and you lose a lot of time. Now let's look at the tyres they have to run this weekend. The championship has been dominated by various brands, but at this WRC event, all the competitors in four-wheel drive cars must run the Pirelli Scorpion tyres.
So that means Stu Taylor's running the same tyre as Sebastian Loeb, and it's going to take a little while for them to get their car control up to the same sort of speed that they had with this control tyre. His time, 18.25.1, 5 seconds down on West.
Stuart, you're going quicker than Hayden through there, but Westie's 5 seconds further in front.
Yeah, I started all right, but I struggled in the middle section where it's a bit damper and a bit more tight. I felt I had a lack of grip at the rear and I was sort of battling a bit. So I don't know that I'd bother change. I'll see how I go in the next one, whether it's worth changing or not.
How'd you find the tyres first up?
They were sort of what I expected, really. They had a grip in the drier stuff, and then when we got into the damp stuff, I was slipping around a bit.
Coming up on Repco Rally New Zealand, it's the turn for the other Kiwis as they fight it out behind the World Championship field. Welcome back to round 5 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. The Big and T Subaru of Richard Mason, the first of the non-priority drivers in the field, running well behind all the other superstars of the WRC and the rest of those Kiwis up in the PWRC.
Well, as you can see in those shots, he's got a beautifully swept line there, Clint.
And boy, is he on the case. 18 minutes, 12.9 seconds. He's actually beaten some of the WRC cars on the stage. And quickest out of the PWRC as well.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, we've been really unsure what would happen with the tyre, and, you know, for the first few Ks it took a long time to warm up. So, anyway, feels good. We'll see how it goes.
From a championship point of view, you're 8 seconds quicker than Westie already.
Oh, that's good, mate. You know, I suppose for us, for this rally, really we've got to aim at that first Kiwi, so we'll probably let those guys do their own thing.
Let's go on board with Brett Martin now.
To a 3 left.
Casualties already on the road. That looks like Ken Block, the American.
Who did the championship last year as well. Well, this part of the stage is very tight and tricky, so you've got to be careful on these cold tyres.
To 5 right. Got no power.
Looks like Brett's got a problem here. He's just said he's got no power.
Oh, that's bad luck for Brett Martin. I was talking to Alex Valentine from Volclay, one of the sponsors, have just got on board the waterproofing company from Albany. Used to actually co-drive with his dad, so that's disappointing.
Right, Clint, you can hear some air hissing out of the front of that car, so I'd say a turbo pipe's come off. Brett, slow time through stage 1. You got a problem?
Yeah, we only went about 3 Ks in, I suppose, and the car's just gone dead. I gather it's probably something to do with the turbo, not quite so sure.
May be able to fix it before the next stage. Remember, no service.
Yep, yeah, we'll get out and have a quick look up the road and see what we can do. Hopefully it might be a pipe or something come off and we can get going again.
Now just take a look at this for a comparison. And the Milk Bar Subaru of Callum McInnes. Gee, he's got a lot more speed. Bit of a wild ride here, Roger.
Certainly is. He's clipping the bank there coming round that left-hander. He's certainly thrown his car around in the first stage. Well, that could be one of the reasons, because he can see dust ahead of him. He's catching Brett Martin in the stage. Of course, Brett's got that problem. But Callum's got to be careful here. He must stay on that line. He gets off it.
Over finish and early 5 right plus.
Dave Calder calling the shots. 18 minutes, 43.4, so 5th fastest so far. And it's welcome back to the Championship 2 for Nathan Thomas. He continues his sideways style, 9 minutes and 5 seconds for the Wellington man. On board with Emma Gilmore and Claire Mole out of the UK, joining up with the Kiwi lady. First outing together in a couple of years.
Yes, well, Claire partnered Emma Gilmore a couple of years ago at Rally of Finland. I think they did Germany as well, and they look like they're going well here.
2 left, 5 right, 6 left, 20, 3 right.
Well, Claire has good delivery on the pace notes here, very clear and precise.
80 over finish.
Let's see what that time is going to be for Emma Gilmore. Down to the finish.
Nailed, 80 over finish.
18 minutes, 32.7. She's 4th fastest, just a point ahead of Patton.
Emma, looks like you're the third or fourth quickest through the stage.
Yeah, we were pretty happy with the run. It probably just struggled a little bit under slippery trees. Should have been a bit more patient and urgent at the same time. But yeah, no, generally happy with the start.
In terms of the tyres you're running, feel okay?
Yeah, they're fine. Yep, all good.
Youngest driver in the WRC Rally, Sloane Cox, 16 years old, getting his first taste of Rally New Zealand. But for once, it's Andre Meyer, the Cambridge kid, who's the fastest of the teens, by just 0.4 seconds in 8th place. And Kirsty Nelson, who holds the world record for the youngest competitor in a WRC round, 18 days younger than Sloane when she started this event last year.
Well, Australian Brendan Reeve, he came over and did the Rally of Whangarei, and now he's back to try for the Ford Fiesta Sporting Trophy. He's got his eye on the prize to the UK and is the fastest two-wheel drive on stage 1.
Not a lot going on for Patrick Malley, though. A broken drive shaft on stage 1 in the Truth Ford Fiesta. Another rookie to watch out for, Ben Jagger, takes second spot in the two-wheel drive class. And Mum and Dad Malley, that's Dermot and Lindsay, continue their history in Rally New Zealand, third in the Fiesta class. So after one stage, Richard Mason blowing the opposition away with a 7.5 second lead. Great to see Emma Gilmore challenging in fourth.
Andre Meyer taking up the challenge, 8th overall, and impressive speed from Reeve in 10th. Drama on stage 2 before they've even started. A lot of rain in this area in the weeks leading up to the event, and what's happened is there's been a major slip in the middle of this Waitomo number 1 stage. So they've had to split the stage in 2. They've changed the road book. So they've got Waitomo Part 1, which is now 25 kilometres, and Waitomo, which is Part 2, 17 kilometres. The local community here, the farmers, they've made a little road there so that there's a touring stage between the 2 stages. So stage 2 now split in 2, and remember, they do it in stage 4, so that is also split in 2 as well.
Thanks, Roger. Yes, a fantastic job done by the locals, and a fantastic improvement here too for Hayden Padden, who would move up 2 places to third on the stage.
Lap 5 left, 30, 5 right on the right.
Well, in fact, Hayden was 7 seconds faster than Chris West. And 9 seconds faster than Stu Taylor.
So after Waitomo Part 1, it's now Mason, West and then Padden, just 4.8 seconds back. So it's Richard Mason who really is showing a clean pair of heels to the opposition here. No doubt the road conditions are helping, but this is an inspired drive by Mason, who is still seeing off some of the WRC cars. Fantastic performance from the B&T Subaru. Of course, he's tried to be the first Kiwi home for the 3rd year in a row. His time, 14 minutes, 26.1.
And here is another man on the mission, Clint. Brett Mountain had fixed his turbo problems between stages, and he was second fastest to Mason on the first part of this stage.
Three right, ruts, 4 left, 34 left.
Now he's done the same, 14 minutes, 41 seconds, still 15 seconds down on Mason.
Wake up, small crest, long 3 right, keep out.
There's the famous wake-up call from Warwick Sill, the co-driver for 16. Stu Taylor. Drama unfolding up ahead.
4 left.
And they're trying to steer clear of it too.
30, short 4 right minus into a 3 left cut.
Now third Kiwi in the road, almost tied with Hayden Padden.
120, 4 left.
Yes, what a battle these two are having. Hayden 4th fastest on this stage, but hanging on to second by 0.1 of a second over Taylor.
Emma Gilmore,
40, 3 left.
5th fastest on both Waitomo Part 1 and 2. She's now 11 seconds behind Stu Taylor and Hayden Padden.
Care, 3 right of a bump, don't cut, tightens to 2, bad ruts. 50.
So a great improvement for the Otago driver who now lives in Motor City in Hamilton. Speaking of well-performing locals, Andre Meyer doing the Waikato proud. 6th fastest on the stage. If he keeps this up, he'll be unbeatable for the rookie title. And Tauranga's Callum McInnes has been close to Emma Gilmore most of the season. 15 seconds down on her, though, through this time.
4 left, 30. Short 4 right minus.
Well, maybe Callum's problem could be getting used to this new controlled tyre. He's been running on Dunlops all season, and now he's into this Pirelli controlled tyre, by the way, which you're not allowed to cut.
4 left, 50.
Nathan Thomas and Richard Kelly, 8th fastest on the stage. Now 9th place in the Kiwi battle. We talked about drama, and this is it. Chris West lost nearly a minute on the stage and dropped to 5th place. Sloane Cox also losing time and dropping 2 places to 10th, the Rotorua teenager. So great news for Richard Mason, an outstanding time, but disaster for West, now 1 minute and 27 seconds behind.
Big lead, 55 seconds. The new tyres you got on the car, you're obviously getting used to them.
Yeah, you know, like I thought that it would be incredibly difficult, but I suppose everybody's on the same tyre, so based on that, you know, it's all about adapting quickly.
And also, as far as the PWRC cars are concerned, you're ahead of them as well.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise. Stage 2B is quite tight and twisty, a bit like Motu stages, and something that I really enjoy, and I did think going into that stage that maybe we'd get a good time through there. You know, at this stage we're just trying to look after the car and not have any repeats of last year.
Hayden currently 2nd place, but Richard Mason, he's a fair way ahead at the moment.
Yeah, I've just seen some of the times and he's certainly going very fast. So hasn't been the best of starts for us. It's just a whole new level of grip that I'm not used to, and I've not been able to lean on things as much as I normally do. So it's just a time thing, like it's early stages in the rally yet, and it's just a matter of adjusting myself and the driving and a bit of the car setup as well, and hopefully we'll slowly claw our way back on the pace.
Stuart, been a pretty good morning so far, 3rd overall.
Yeah, it has been going well. We're starting to get used to those tyres. We're struggling a wee bit in places, but on the whole, I'm quite happy how things are going.
Big battle with Hayden Padden. I think you're 0.1 behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're doing our own thing, but it just turns out that we're almost right on the same time. I mean, there's a stage that we got a bit of time out of Hayden and vice versa. I mean, we're just battling away with our car and the tyres and just trying to go as fast as we can, and that's how it is.
Emma, some very competitive times this morning.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with the start. It was nothing hugely spectacular, but just sort of doing our own thing and happy with how the car's feeling. A few issues with the brakes and maybe a bit down on power. The intercooler spray hasn't been working, but no, it was a good start.
How have you found the tyres on the car in relation to the ones that you've run all year?
Yeah, like I think they're okay. Like, I mean, sure, if it's slippery, they don't have much grip, especially on tarmac or anything like that, but I think they're okay. I mean, you get out into loose stuff, they don't pull themselves back straight, but everyone's in the same boat, so it's fine.
It looks like you're back on the pace because you're only 11 seconds behind for 2nd place.
Yeah, we'll go have another go this afternoon. You know, it's also getting to work with Claire again, getting everything just gelling, so yeah, we're looking forward to this afternoon.
Chris, a lot of drama this morning in the 2nd stage.
Yeah, well, there's been plenty of action. We've been unfortunate for ourselves. We had a spin in the second one and dropped a little bit of time to Hayden, and then unfortunately broke the steering wheel off on the last stage. So tough morning.
Breaking the steering wheel off. How did you get the car out?
Yeah, well, it was interesting to say the least. It just used my hands to basically drive out, and that's where we lost a considerable amount of time. So the guys will obviously mend it, and we can go back out. But lost a bit of time, that's for sure.
Brad, if you took out the first stage, you'd actually be 2nd overall at the moment. Been going pretty quick.
Yeah, the first stage was sort of one of those ones you wish to forget. It's quite lucky that there was only a turbo pipe that we managed to come off, and we managed to put it back on again, and for the next 2 stages.
How have you found it? Obviously, you found it pretty good in terms of the tyres and everything.
Yeah, well, I think we haven't changed the car setup and everything, and we thought, I think the sidewalls may be similar to the MRF, so they're not going to roll as much, and I think they are quite similar. They're probably a little bit harder, but it's just we're still learning where you can push with them and not.
A lot of damage from other cars out there. Is it pretty tricky?
There's bits of stages that are really tricky, and I think it's just a matter of trying to keep in the lines. If you sort of get out of the lines, then it gets quite slippery in those wet spots, and the car, well, at times it can take off, I guess.
This afternoon we might see one of those well-known Brett Martin clawbacks.
Yeah, we'll be trying. It's we'll just see. Westy had a problem as well, and it's just you never know what can happen for the next 3 stages. We'll just keep doing. We've been taking it quite easy this morning, so it's just if we can push on a little bit and maybe just feel a bit more comfortable, we will.
Andre, looks like you got one hand on that rookie title at the moment. 3 stages to go today.
That's correct. No, we're staying to it, eh? We're sticking to our guns and going for that rookie title. We got a bit of a lead, but we're just trying to extend it to the maximum possible. So,
bit of a scare first stage though.
Oh, that was awesome! It was a good wake up actually, and we came out better off. And it was pretty much the second corner we got into was a bit wide, and we got wider, and then we shot up the bank, and then back onto the road, jumped a tree, back off onto the other bank, and then onto the road again, and just kept on. Then went along for a little bit. It was like, yep, no, everything's sweet. So we just stayed positive and just went through to the end.
Introduction to international rally, or New Zealand international rally.
That's it. That's the only way, is hit it full noise.
Welcome back to Repco Rally New Zealand, round 5 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. 2 more stages now until the final at Mystery Creek this afternoon. Second tests once again, split into 2. Hayden Paddon, that first Kiwi, back on the road in the PWRC field. Roger, these stages nicely swept now.
Yeah, they sure are. And it shows in the times. Look at the pace through here that Hayden Paddon's got.
Crest, 100. Right plus long.
Well, with just 3 stages to go, Chris West, an impossible situation on leg 1 of the rally. Already struggling to catch Mason. Now the best he can hope for is a top 5 finish.
Into 5, right.
How would you feel breaking the steering wheel?
Well, it'd be very difficult, but Clint, I've noticed this afternoon these guys are driving a much straighter line.
Into a long 3 right. 30.
2 reasons for that. The road's a lot more swept, and the second thing is they're just starting to get used to these tyres. You notice there, Stewart's not throwing the car around as much as he did this morning. Also, look at the amount of rocks thrown up on the road. Now, these new tyres have got very thick sidewalls to protect against punches, but they're not totally bulletproof. You heard Sarah saying keep it smooth, and that is the trick this afternoon.
Right, let's see what Hayden Paddon can do as he comes safely around Loeb's corner. Pirongia West 2. Final shootout.
Coming down to the finish, let's look at the clock. Yes, he's nearly a minute faster, 17:57.8. Well, that's 50 seconds quicker than this morning.
Now, can Chris West pull back some time with the steering wheel?
Into 5 left plus long. Open.
Well, he's got past that guy.
Oh!
Wow, that was nearly a crash.
4 right minus and
just hangs on to it again, Westy.
5.
Yeah, and he's got a steering wheel too.
Finish to 4 right and minus.
18 minutes 10.
Lucky.
So he's faster too this morning, but lucky. Stu Taylor currently 3rd.
Into a 5 left plus. 100, finish 5 right plus.
17 minutes 57.8, just 0.4 behind Paddon. Man, they're quick. Talk about the flying Richard Mason, also safely around Loeb's corner. He's really been caning it as the leading Kiwi.
This will be another fast one.
17 minutes 42.1, so he's 30 seconds quicker. Now has a 1 minute 11 second lead.
To 5 left plus, opens 100.
3rd place in reach of Emma Gilmore if she pushes through here.
5 left.
Yes, I got the feeling Emma has newfound confidence at this event. She obviously enjoys driving with Claire.
Still in 4th place.
Rest. Don't know, jammy jaw when I hit that bloody thing. Sorry. All right.
Chris West still 5th, so Callum McInnes chasing hard in 6th place. Been a good day for the Tauranga racer.
But another day of what may have been for Brett Martin. He was 4th fastest on this stage, but after the disaster this morning, he's still 7th overall, but now half a second behind Callum McInnes.
Finish 5-6 right, 100, crest.
And true Nathan Thomas, give it a go style. He'd taken a swipe at the scenery, still hanging on to 8th place.
Remember, he did the same thing on this stage last year, Clint.
In fact, he'd edged in front of rookie Andre Meyer. Meyer was still the best of the teenagers, looking safe for that rookie title. Sloane Cox now 25 seconds back in 10th. And an outstanding effort by the Aussie Brendan Reeves, first in 2-wheel drive. While Dermot Malley now 2nd in the class. Ben Jagger struggling with a failing transmission. In fact, Kirsty Nelson was also in trouble in 13th place, with the other Northland teenager Jagger struggling out in 14th. So the battle's all about second place as Mason proved unbeatable. Good battle too for fourth between Emma Gilmore and Chris West. So it's Waitomo for the second time. Remember, split over 2 stages. Let's see how the top 3 go.
Opens and opens. Oh,
that's all right. Well, a little moment there for Richard Mason.
70. Long 5 right, tightens and opens.
But he shakes it off and is the fastest of the Kiwis once again.
Hayden Patton hanging it out here. Second fastest, but loses another 17 seconds to Mason.
15.
Yeah, well, no matter what they can do here, Richard Mason's in a game of his own today. Hayden Patton maybe he's struggling a little bit with the tyres. He said he really was trying to... Oh, he's gone a little bit. Oh, very lucky. Definitely struggling with the tyres. See, Clinty, you get offline and you're in big trouble.
Exactly as they say. You can go from one camber to the other, but, man, if you get it wide, could be dangerous. Stu Taylor here. Lost 28 seconds to Mason on the stage, but held third, now 11 seconds back from Patton.
But what you can't see at the moment is Stu Taylor's steering column has come apart and is now sitting in his lap. Now these stages, Clint, they're very tight and twisty.
Into a 4 left plus.
It'll be very tricky to drive this car through here.
4 left plus.
So he too's doing a bit of a Westie, but this is the man who's dominated the day with just the Mystery Creek Super Special stage to go.
Richard, it's been pretty good for you today, leading the National Championship, but you're also leading Group N in the rally, 12th overall.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic effort for us. We were unsure how things would go with the tyre, and grip's been quite reasonable this afternoon. I think we're really lucky that it's dry.
And you got about a 28-second lead in Group N and a minute and a half on the Rally New Zealand.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. So I don't know. Let's hope we can keep it up for the next 2 days.
Pretty awesome, all right, and really he's left the other Kiwis like Hayden Patton in his dust. Patton trailed by a minute 28 at the start of the stage, and Richard has extended the lead even further.
4 minus late, opens 50.
Yes, like we were saying earlier, a lot of the drivers are struggling, and Richard Mason is absolutely on fire in this event, as he always is. But Patton, good day so far, second.
Bringing it home for the points in the championship.
Left line, 50 to stop.
Hayden, looks like Richard in the championship is about a minute 29 ahead.
Yeah, well, after the first 3 stages, there was nothing we can do about that. So this afternoon, it's just trying to get myself back in the car and get back in the zone and start to try and push and lean on the car again. So it's been better this afternoon, but still there's a lot of room for improvement.
Well, you're 5th place in PWRC anyway. That's one of your goals.
Yeah, it was, and obviously there's a long way to go in that rally as well. We've got 2 more days, and tomorrow's stages I really enjoy, and I've driven them last year as well, whereas these stages I didn't do last year. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We'll make a few setup changes tonight, and hopefully we'll be on the pace tomorrow.
And also a hard finish to the day for Stu Taylor.
Well, just with that outside shot there, you got a glimpse of Stu Taylor inside the car, fighting the wheel. Imagine driving the steering wheel, floating up and down. It's not easy.
Especially when you try to go fast down towards the end of the stage, past the marshals who've been here all day, doing a great job keeping the crowds at bay. Looks like he's bumping the windscreen wiper at the same time, Stu Taylor.
5 right, finish.
What a battle, Rally New Zealand.
Tightens.
Sure, it looks like Westy had steering problems with the steering wheel this morning. You've got the same problem almost.
Yeah, I've had them for the last 2 stages now, and it's quite testing. I mean, I guess rallying's meant to be a challenge, but when the steering's in your lap, it's not too flash.
Looks like it's been really hard work for you as well.
Yeah. I mean, every time we hit a bump, it pushed. Something was moving further than the steering. It jammed the windscreen wipers on, and yeah, I had a few scares in there because we wanted to keep a good pace going, but God, it was a battle.
Well, with that problem, you're only 7 seconds in the stage behind Patton.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be one of those if we didn't have the problem, but at least we're still running, and we've got tomorrow and the following day to carry on.
Coming up, we'll check out the progress of the other Kiwis as the day counts down on Repco Rally New Zealand. Welcome back to Repco Rally New Zealand. We're on the Waitomo stage with Emma Gilmore. What a performance from the M's today, Roger.
Yes, put in perspective, Emma has been struggling at the bottom end of the top 10 for most of the season. Now she's challenging the top 3. 4 fastest on Waitomo Part 1, and she's slowly closing that gap to Stu Taylor, who's currently 3rd. Although getting and gone round, almost. Got the car going again, a half spin, I suppose.
And after a trying morning for Chris West with those steering problems, with the wheel fell off, never really got back on the pace this afternoon.
Well, Westy struggled this afternoon, maybe tyres. He's had a bit of bad luck as well. Wow, look at that rock. That Subaru driver's hit that, Brownie.
Novikov, the Russian. He's picked the biggest rock in New Zealand to bounce off. A Novikov rocktail.
Well, Brownie, that's one of your best. But anyway, Brett Martin on the real charge here. You know, if it wasn't for that first stage turbo problem, Brett would be 2nd. He has done really well to get up to 6th and 3rd fastest over this Waitomo stage.
6 left, 80, 6 right, 30, gear 3 right.
Let's go back on board with Emma Gilmore, Waitomo Part 2. She's flying in the Vantage Subaru.
Takes a 4, very long. 4 left minus, long, 60. It's like a 2 left, nearly there. 6 right.
Oh, a little bit of confusion on the notes there, but it hasn't slowed Emma. Just half a second behind Patton's time. Again, what a great day in 4th place.
That worked last time, Claire. Yeah, it worked last. No, the last time, sure. 6 right, 35 right. Sorry, I don't know where it goes wrong, but it goes wrong.
Looks like Brett Martin will finish 6th. It's been a good comeback for the Masterton driver. He's kept his head.
Along 4 left.
Well, looking very smooth too on these Pirelli Scorpion tyres as he comes down to the finish.
30 to a long 5 right.
His time, 14 minutes, 29.9.
That might be enough for 5th place.
That's a good stage, mate.
Good effort.
Lost. No, that's all right.
They're happy too behind the wheel. Chris West would have to pull his finger out through here. His lead was 14 seconds over Martin, so you think that would be enough?
Right minus, Titans 3 right minus.
Well, Westy on a bit of a charge through here. He's been pushing hard most of the day. Going a little bit wide off that corner as he comes down to the finish line.
And middle.
It's not looking good for Westy. He's dropping time.
Opens over finish. And tightens to 4 right minus. Into
14.50.7. No, he's dropped down to 6th place behind Martin.
Behind the battle for that, the top 5, Callum McInnes in 7th place. A good start to the rally for the Tauranga driver.
3 left.
Oh, he's gone in there.
Get a puncher.
Over steering wheel.
3 right.
Maybe Callum's got a steering problem, but you notice the corner beforehand, he went in a little bit early as well.
Here comes the Cambridge Kiwi, flagging it wide, Andre Meyer, 8th place. That'll give him the rookie title for 2008. His spies have been working very well. Sloane Cox in 9th, hasn't really been in the form today.
Well, a good return for Nathan Thomas in 9th place. Car a little bit battered, but at least he's got through leg 1 this year.
And what a great result too for the Aussie Brendan Reeves in 10th place and leading the 2-wheel drives. Kirsty Nelson in 12th, a quiet day for the Northland racer. And the final finisher in the New Zealand Rally field, Dermot Malley in 15th with just the super stage to run at Mystery Creek.
Yes, the stage, a real turn-up for the spectators. Good to see a crowd in big numbers this year, Clint.
Yes, it's fantastic to see all the petrol heads turning up in Mooloo City. They've done it for the V8s and now they're here for the rally.
And right, one left plus room.
No surprise, fastest Kiwi over the stage, Richard the Flying Mason.
And right, 150. Oh, jump 150.
Remember, he's trying to be that first Kiwi home in the overall rally for the last 3 years in a row.
Repeat 2 left soft.
And on this stage,
50.
He wins it, but only by about 1/10 of a second from Chris West, saving his best for last, Westy, after a trying day. So it's Richard Mason takes maximum points. Leg 1, round 5 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery Rally Championship. Holds on to an impressive lead in Group N, 12th overall in the rally. But second for Patton means he really just needs to finish second again on day 2 to take an unassailable lead in the championship.
Richard, probably the most dominating display we've seen in the National Championship. 140 Ks, and you beat them by 1:48.
Oh, that's good, you know. I don't think we've been doing anything differently. Every time we come to Rally New Zealand, we drive the same. So, I don't know, maybe the other guys have stepped back a notch. I don't know.
In terms of tyres and everything like that, everything clicked today?
Yeah, sure. It did click quite well. I don't know. Like, I was quite surprised with tyres. I thought it would be quite an issue. But, you know, maybe it's not so bad. The control tyre seems to work quite well. So, maybe it would be a different story if it was raining. But for us, for here, it was working good. We're happy with how the car feels. Sure, it's getting knocked around. It's quite rough running later in the rally after all the WR cars and all the production guys. It does get fairly rutted up and fairly rough, and it does knock the car around. So now it's the job for the guys to get it all spick and span ready to do it again tomorrow. 1 point behind Stewie Taylor now. Plan tomorrow? Well, you know, there's no point doing any different plan to today, is there? You know, like, we always go out to do our best. You know, we want to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been a trying day. I struggled a bit myself this morning with the driving, and I got back into it this afternoon a lot better, but just been battling a little bit with the car and getting the tyres dialed in, and it has been a bit of an exercise because we effectively bolted on these tyres for the first time yesterday afternoon in shakedown. So we can't expect miracles, but we're going to make a few setup changes now and trying to find some more grip for tomorrow. Third in the championship, but Richard Mason 1 point behind you now.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. So I'm hoping that tomorrow, with a different type of road and a bit more practice under my belt, that we can get a bit closer to Richard's time. But if he goes tomorrow like he did today, he's going to be a hard man to catch.
Emma, looks like a great performance really today. Turner Speed came home 4th overall.
Yeah, sort of everything sort of came together a bit better today. The car was just consistent all day, and yeah, it was really good fun to drive. So it was a great day, really.
And of course, the new co-driver.
Yeah, Claire and I worked really well together. Still, you know, fine-tuning things, but generally it worked. It was good. So it's good having sort of slower stages today, so in the higher speed stuff tomorrow, it's all going to work a bit better.
This afternoon we saw you claw back and you ended up 5th today, and you got ahead of Westy at the end.
Yeah, we're happy with that, especially after the way the day started. But well, it gives us a bit more confidence going into tomorrow too. It's especially with the way the car's handling, it seems to be suiting us quite well at the moment. So we'll just have to try and see what we can do tomorrow.
Andre, congratulations. You are now a New Zealand champion. You've just won the Rookie Championship. Well done.
That's correct, mate. We're just over the moon, eh? We had our goal from the start. We've achieved it, and we're just stoked about it. We just want to keep going for the rest of the event. Keep on top of Salone, and keep pushing a little bit more each day and learning more things.
And you've done it in front of your home crowd here in Hamilton too.
That's the one. Just stoked to be, have everything right here at your feet, and it just makes the whole experience more enjoyable.
So what a day for the M&Ms. Richard Mason flying out there as the first Kiwi after that first leg of Repco Rally New Zealand, and Andre Meyer taking out the Rookie Championship. Hell of a day out there on the roads.
Well, yeah, as we see Richard Mason drive past, but I'll tell you what, I have never seen such a dominating display by a New Zealand Rally Championship competitor. The last time I saw that really was when Possum Bourne, back in 91, I think, when he won the championship. 140 Ks today, and he won it by 1:48. Totally dominating.
So Richard Mason on target to be that first Kiwi home, but in the battle for the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship, it's Team Green. Shrek remains on target.
He certainly does, because believe it or not, he's extended the championship lead. He's got a 40-point lead. Maximum you get for a win is 32. So possibly in leg 2 he could win the championship and become the youngest New Zealand Rally champion.
And of course, a terrible day for Chris West with the steering wheel breaks, falls off 3 Ks into a stage.
Yeah, not only with Chris West, it happened to Stewie Taylor as well, a similar sort of thing. So it's been tricky out there today, Clint. Very difficult.
And a great result too for the young Cambridge racer. Waikato boy said it's totally wicked. Andre Meyer wrapping up the rookie championship.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, Richard Mason is his coach as well. So the Mason crew tonight, they're very, very happy. Great work by Andre Meyer.
So a great day for Mason and Meyer. That's it for this leg from Repco Rally New Zealand. Make sure you join the action too when we get some more skids with the next leg as part of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship.